T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me. That's what I wanna know. Can we talk? Come on and talk to me, baby. Come on,
Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you, girl. I really wanna know your name.
Maybe this will help.
Just like that, back like we never left. What's up, y'all?
Did we ever leave? I felt like I never left.
Listen, are you still happily married?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right, you didn't leave.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Listen. Did my camera cut off or something?
Nah, you good. You
All
good.
right, man.
Unfortunately, I still see your face.
These websites, it's a lot of new stuff that they're doing, bro. StreamYard is adding new options on Instagram. I done added my website to the bottom of the doggone live so that people can just immediately go to the site.
Listen, because let's start it off like that. Why? Something happened recently.
Hold on. You can also add a link to your store.
Oh, wow. Did you do that one yet?
You got the store, bro. I ain't got the store. Give me the link.
All right.
Or you can add it to maybe just so when you go live on Instagram, it'll say, hey, add your store or your website and whatnot, bro. It's a wild situation, man. We got to take full advantage.
For sure.
We got to take full advantage.
For
Jesus,
sure.
I was sitting here earlier. Didn't even get the show prepped. Lord, okay.
Why the white man is allowing us to be on air? The least we could do is, no,
sell our
All
stuff. Well, that's
just jokes, people. Just jokes,
stuff, man. Dang, bro. Well, let's get into it, bro. What'd you learn this week, man? How you feeling, man? How you living?
Oh man, it was a good week, man. Just a whole bunch of newness going on in my life, bruh. New things going on in my life that I won't get into the details about, but life is good, man. Just continuing to try to be a student and to continue to learn and not think that I got stuff figured out, and just staying humble and like I said, just being a student of life, being a student of people. Sometimes we think because we reach a certain peak in our life, whether it be a career, whether it be in therapy, no matter what it is, that we can't still learn from other people. And that's so far from the truth, bro. Whether they're younger, older, I still learn from my son. He's 14 years old, teaching me stuff daily about myself, about life in general, about how to handle certain situations. You know what I mean? I'll be telling him a story about something that happened, and he'll say, well, why did you do that? Why didn't you do it this way? And I'll be like, dang, 14 years old, schooling your dad, huh? But that's what life is about, man. So yeah, this week it's been good. It's been good.
To nobody but you.
And that's all that matters. And
you gave us all that in no
it didn't say
details,
nothing,
bro.
right?
No details about what your son helped you, like what's new. Like we out here on the outside, like
crazy.
Just take your word for it.
That's crazy. And
ladies and gentlemen, sometimes life is so good for this nigga, he get beside himself. Y'all just be patient. Tonight, everybody just show Mike some extra love. It's gonna be just act like I didn't say nothing. Hey, Michael.
Michael, wow. All right. All right. Cool.
Goodness, man.
How was your week, good brother?
My week was good, man. Yeah, we started doing interviews. I got a book coming out. We started doing interviews, but it's been so much talk about that. I don't really want to talk about that. If you want more information, just go to my Instagram, my website. It's all good. Tonight, I just want to talk about this fun relationship stuff. So,
yeah.
If you have not yet, go ahead, tag your best friend, grab your favorite drink, your favorite snack.
You know what I want to start throwing in there in the intro? Tag your worst enemy too, because maybe they need to be helped by the show. We always say tag your best friend, tag your homie, tag your worst enemy. Somebody you can't stand, tag them. It may help. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling tonight.
Carrie said, "You did that beautifully. Don't listen to Donnie."
See, K-Dub.
She probably want a free T-shirt or something.
She is one of my clients. That's so funny.
Listen, I know what it is. I know the smell of a client's comment when I hear one.
You called that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. We got everything up here. Let's get the show started, man.
Let's get it.
We're gonna start off with some light stuff, man. I was busy this week, man. The marketing team for the book that I'm getting published, they were like, we like when you do these interactions with the people through the stories. They're really big on the stories.
Okay.
This week I asked a few questions in the story and people responded and I responded back to them. It was good. It was rather insightful and hilarious. Let's start with this one though. This is going to be a good discussion. Let's start with this video right here.
I'm not a wife, but I'm going to be honest, this would bother me. And you know why? Because it's seen as a very chivalrous thing to do, and chivalry is kind of coded with romance. So to me, to see my partner put his jacket on another woman, she has to be one of two things. Either she's real old, like she's senior citizen, needs a walker old, because we respect our elders, we want to make sure she doesn't get hypothermia. Or she just fell into the frozen lake and she's about to die and lose a digit. And I'm like, I don't want to see anybody die on my watch, and only those two scenarios. Otherwise, you better take that jacket off your back. And even as a single woman, if I'm walking with another couple and I'm cold and he's standing next to his wife and then he gives me the jacket, I'd sooner freeze. I'm like, no.
What if she's dressed appropriately, like Cynthia?
It doesn't matter. There's just a thing, because I know the way that we think, and I'd be like, no, I'm not a...
It strikes again, bro. It strikes again. The beauty of this video is how she ended it. I know the way that we think. I'm telling you, man, we brought this up on this podcast so many times that women, like, I don't trust women because I am a woman and I know how women think.
Yeah.
So, bro, I'm not even gonna tell you what my answer was yet, but I want to know what your answer is.
Always do this shit.
What is your answer, bro? Listen, you out with your woman, your wife, and you see a lady in need of a coat. And you happen to have one on.
Yeah, for sure. And we're talking about just a random woman. I don't know this woman from Adam. Just random.
You know her?
Oh, I know her. Okay. So then that's a different scenario. So first and foremost, I'm gonna make sure my wife is good. Babe, are you cold? Do you need my jacket? And then I'm gonna ask her, is it cool? What's her name? Said she was cold. Is it cool if I give her my jacket? You good with that? She says yes, which my wife probably would. Then I would give her the jacket. But what I'm not going to do is, she cold, I just hand her my jacket, not even consulting with my wife first. That's out of control. But I feel like though, if the subject is giving a woman a jacket, even though you're married or you have a partner, then I don't see that as a problem. For me, as long as I check with my partner and make sure that's all good, then nah, I'm cool with that. I've done it.
Carrie said she better be ugly, old, or in need.
Dang, that's wild. What? Oh, this is gonna be one of them conversations.
Because women know women, bro. are you giving a woman your coat if she's cold and you're out with your wife? You said, I'm gonna ask my wife if she's cold, then I'm gonna ask my wife if I can give her the coat, because as a married man, it ain't just your coat. That's you and your wife's coat, because y'all
for sure. For sure. Also, though, bro, as a married man, my chivalry hasn't left. So if we're going there with the jacket, am I not to open the door for any woman either?
So this is the point of tonight's conversation, because we're wondering if chivalry was supposed to be aimed at a specific woman, your woman, your responsibility, or to any woman in the proximity, any woman in the village. Has anyone ever asked that question? Who gets the chivalry? Does chivalry only go to ladies, or does it go to those? What did they used to call them back in the day, man? Village rats. I mean, that's not probably not what it.
Golly. Village rats is absolutely crazy.
Outsiders, those who lived in the bushes around.
Village rats. Let's stick with that. That's fine.
But that's a lady.
Yeah. Nah. So no. Like I said, for me,
that's like saying you could. Okay, cool. You see a homeless lady, it's cold. You putting your jacket on her?
Yes. Probably more so for the homeless lady before anybody else, other than my wife.
You want it back? You can't ask for it back.
You cannot, Donovan. Why?
You can't ask for your jacket back from a homeless person.
I never said that I was. What are we doing right now?
I just didn't know if you counted the cost. Your yes was too quick.
Because I've done it. These things, I'm telling you things that I've done. You know what I mean?
Was the coat on your back or the extra coat you had in the trunk?
It was on my back.
Okay.
Here's the thing, bro. I think that all women say they want a gentleman until they get one, and then it's like, oh, I just wanted you to be a gentleman with me. But that's not how that works. If I was raised to be a gentleman, I'm not like, so for me, how I was raised, I wasn't raised to say you only are a gentleman or you only are chivalrous with your wife. I was taught that a gentleman is a gentleman with all women. And that's how I try, especially these days, to carry myself. Can't say that I always did. To put that disclaimer out there for those old ones that are watching. Wasn't always a gentleman.
Let me try something on you real quick, good sir. Good gentleman.
Here we go.
Mr. Chivalry.
Here we go.
I done went on that AI.
Yes, you have.
AI journey. In medieval times, chivalry was an exclusive code of conduct for nobility, primarily knights and men at arms. In theory, this ethical framework extended to God, the church, I don't even know what that word is, feudal lords, and the vulnerable, specifically women and the poor. In reality, its protection rarely reached the lower classes. In reality, its protection rarely reached the lower classes.
Yeah, but in the sentence before that, you said the poor and the poor. Yeah, so that is the lower class. So is it for the lower class, or it sounds like it's contradicting itself?
Hold on. Rich people got a different kind of poor than other people.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a whole different. Yeah. I can't afford a maid.
Yeah.
Versus I can't afford a house.
Yeah.
Not the same kind of poor.
No, you're right. God, no. Absolutely right.
I gotta wear the same outfit the next week. Kind of poor.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So we're good.
We're back.
So as we're having this conversation about chivalry, and I say this as a large scale, society is so big on pulling old traditions and norms and frameworks without context, trying to implement it to call ourselves civilized without understanding why it was implemented or discovered or created in the first place.
I'll go with that.
What was the whole point of chivalry when it was first created? Now you got people out here getting cussed out for not putting their jacket over a puddle of water for strangers who got working legs, who could jump over. It's so convoluted and nobody knows where it belongs. And so people are getting upset. People are getting, their card taken, like you're not a real man. And it's like, you're not a lady. And we're having these arguments. And has anybody gone back and looked at, hey, does this even make sense anymore?
Yeah, no, I get with that. I get that. And I think, like I said, for me, I could really care less about the outside. Like I said, if this is who you are, this is who you are. No matter if people got an issue with it, no matter if people like it. I've held the door and continue to hold the door open for women. Some women say thank you, some don't.
So let's talk about that, bro. We got to get specifics tonight because too many people having general conversations about holding the door, you know what I'm saying, paying the bill, like specific. Let me tell you where I stand on this, right?
Yeah.
I'll open the door for, the ladies I'm with, or just specific scenario, me and my woman on a date. I open the door for her to walk through. It's 4 other women coming. How far am I going to let her get away from me before these women got to fend for themselves? Because that's my primary responsibility. The woman that is with me and the woman I'm on a date with.
I agree with that. But the kind of woman that I know you'll end up having and the kind of woman I have now, she's not going to stray too far anyway. So once I open that door, she turns around to see me holding the door. She's going to wait for me.
How long should she wait? Even if she's willing to wait all night.
Are we at Six Flags holding the door? Like, how many people are coming through?
No, but I'm just saying, like, so at what point does your chivalry towards other women end up being non-chivalry towards the woman that you actually with? Because now you got her waiting over here in this section because you're trying to make sure these other women are taken care of. So at some point, your chivalry, how many places can it aim at one time?
So I'm gonna say this, and I'm only saying it because I'm in my brain, I haven't had to hold the door open very long for just 15, 20 women, because usually there's a man in between there. Once I see him, I let the door go. You got it, brother. And if he don't hold it, oh well.
So I've done this.
Oh shit. What have you done, brother?
Listen, if I'm on a date or if I'm with a woman or with my mom and we got somewhere to get to and I open the door for her and it's the whole crew of people coming in, I'll do the push and I'm gonna go catch up with whoever I'm with. Walk away.
Okay.
Listen, so show some effort on your side. Because some people will see you holding the door and take a sweet little time. They'll just slow down. Oh yeah, we got a gentleman right here. I got a woman right there. So I'm you got it.
Yeah. No, that's valid. That's super valid.
Listen, how long do you expect me to hold this door?
Yeah, and I feel like it's really unappreciated these days anyway.
But chivalry is not about appreciation. It's about your role in society. But I think that I have to, and I want to create my own list of a standard around chivalry, because there's certain people who I don't care what they think about me.
Yeah.
And I have to make sure that I don't neglect my primary responsibilities, trying to make sure I save face in society.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Again, yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's good. And I think that, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you got it.
You got it.
Nah, I was just
the same person.
I know, right?
So let me tell you, because you didn't see the post. So one lady said, as long as there's nothing inappropriate happening, I ain't got no problem with it. Another lady said, I am I think she said a selfish Pisces. I don't want my man's coat and his scent on no other woman. And then another one said, okay, how would you feel if your woman was cold and had on another man's coat?
Had on another man's coat?
Yeah.
Did I have a coat? No, because I'm saying if I didn't have a coat, I don't want her to be cold. So by any means necessary, if you had a jacket on, I didn't bring a jacket for Janae, and Janae was cold, I would say, hey, give Janae your jacket.
Brother, man. I'm her brother.
So we're talking about a random strike? Like, who we talking about? You got to give me context. Who we talking about?
My context didn't matter for me. What I said was I'd be topless. I'd be topless.
Get something. That'll be the last option.
Nipples out. Before my woman has to resort to wearing another man's coat. And then I politely said, if we were all responsible adults and checked the weather before we left the house, this wouldn't even be an issue.
There it is.
Everybody can keep on their own clothes. And if you know, and one of my friends said it's a single woman problem or a woman with a not so good man, because I've been in relationships before and I've gone on dates. I grab extra sweaters and I grab extra shoes because I remember things about her body that she don't. I know how long I've memorized how those are. My mom taught me at an early age, babe, some heels are for standing, some heels are for sitting, some heels are for walking. She wants to wear these tonight because she likes how they look and she know we going to the botanical garden. And I'm like, you know, we're going walking, but I really want to wear these for sure. I'm packing shoes and sweaters and jackets and extra stuff, because when you look at something from a lens of responsibility, you're not just trying to be prepared for the weather you want. You're also being prepared for things, you know, as many other options as possible. But I don't. How would you feel? I wasn't there. This is you and Janae out. You left all your jackets and she had to put another man's coat on, and you happy that she's warm. You be fine. Nothing needs to change about the situation.
So here's the thing. What my pride? So if anything, I would be mad at myself. Like, damn, nigga, you dropped the ball.
Okay.
Why weren't you prepared for this situation? You knew it was gonna be cold. You're not gonna be cold, but why you didn't bring a jacket, hoodie, and just leave it in the car just in case? So if anything, I would be mad at me. I wouldn't think that, oh, she must be trying to, or he trying to holler. I wouldn't think any of that. And I think a lot of women responses is because of that, not necessarily, you know what I mean? Oh, he should have been prepared. It's more so like the one lady said, I don't want my scent on any other woman. She better be ugly as shit. Why?
You already know, bro. We don't have the woman's mind, so we really have to take their word for it. That something else is going on. You gotta take their word for it, because too many of them are too adamant about this topic. It's something that we just don't know about the species.
Is it coming from insecurity though?
All of them?
I mean,
too many of them is too adamant about this. Yo, I trust you. I don't trust them. They know what they made of. I think we have to just take their word for it, bro.
Oh, yeah. You might be right. Because even my wife has said that before.
So Kanisha said, my man is imaginary, but I expect it to extend past me. So she expects his chivalry to extend past her. And I can understand that, because I think women also want a man who has a good reputation out in the world.
Okay, shit. You can't have it both ways. You want me to have a?
As soon as I finished the sentence, I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe not."
Because you want me to be chivalrous or don't you? You can't have it both ways.
No. What's every woman's favorite word?
No.
Both.
Both of them.
Both. God, I don't know about the women you married or the women you dated, but the ones that their favorite answer is always both.
Jeez. Yeah.
9 times out of 10, if you give them an option, they're gonna say both. Jeez. And the ones that are watching this and laughing know that they're guilty.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yes, they want both. I want him to have a good reputation, but I also want his chivalry to extend exclusively towards me.
Mm-hmm.
Ferguson Marv said, I'm with him as long as he's doing for me first. I'm cool with him doing for another woman as long as he doesn't get too close. She said, women know how slick some women can be. Some women don't even allow their man to be around her female friends.
Oh, look, I got something on IG. Fly Cali Girl said, what up, Niche? Said, I'm not letting a sister freeze. I'll be mad if my man doesn't. And then Carolyn said,
a sister, that means just black woman, right? Context, nigga. They got exegete.
Look, Carolyn said, homeless lady definitely gets to keep the jacket.
I can feel a little something on that statement. It's fine.
That's funny.
That's why.
That's funny. Nah. So I feel like this though. I feel like, again, going back to the if my woman had on another man's coat, like I said, I'd be kicking myself in the ass for not being prepared for that situation. So let's stay there. Let's stay there for a second.
We gonna stay right there because she gonna give you the eye contact and she gonna nestle in because it's probably a 4X.
So I doubt that. But so here's the thing. Here's the thing. Am I gonna let her freeze? What are we talking about? I got an option.
You got a whole body.
I got an option to keep my woman warm, and I'm gonna say no because of my pride. Because of my pride, I'm gonna say no. Because that's all it is pride.
Take your shirt off.
Okay, what if that's not that don't keep her warm? It's cold. A t-shirt not gonna do nothing.
How big? How little is this woman?
No, how cold do they get? Janae can have on a full blown fur coat and still be cold.
Nigga, y'all need to leave the venue and take her to urgent care because her iron is low.
All right, Tuesday ain't even count. This is why you ain't been eating at the house lately.
I wasn't even talking about my sister. I was not.
She has low iron though. So
how would I know that? Stop telling her business on the public web. And give her some red meat. Selfish nigga.
God, dog. All right. Nigga.
I'm moving on, man. We have beef tacos on Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right. So ultimately, the answer is both. Fellas, let's look at the double standard.
Damn.
Just prepare. I think if it's a word for the fellas, just prepare as best as you can. If it's your first date, you know what I'm saying? So you just have an extra coat in the car. You know what I'm saying? And have a boundary of how long you willing, especially first impressions. If you're on a first date and she walks in, it's a group of ladies behind her. Listen, you might want to pull the door shut just to make sure this woman knows that,
What are we saying? Okay. We're going to have to, I disagree.
Too helpful.
Being too helpful can be an issue.
So is there any scenario we can use where we're like, oh, I love a woman when she acts like this, and I love when she can do that we're like, okay, that's enough of that. Like, we're talking about men being chivalrous. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Here we go. We at an event. You with your wife.
Yeah.
She makes me a plate, Karsa plate, and Denim a plate before she makes your plate.
That's Janae.
Cool. That's Janae. Okay, cool. So, because you know us, you love all three of us, right?
Yeah.
How far can she go on making somebody else's plate before she makes it?
This nigga gonna find a way, boy. This nigga gonna find a way.
Talk to me, huh?
Outside of the three males you named, that's probably where the buck stops, nigga. Maybe her dad and my dad and JT.
Y'all go to the pastor house and she make the pastor a plate before she makes
the pastor better get the first lady to make his damn plate. Shoot. What are we talking about right now? See, I'm trying to.
It don't feel good on the other side, huh?
I'm trying to stay at my higher self, and you just won't let me. That's what it is.
Oh, golly, man. Listen, Kanisha said we ain't just making random plates, and we ain't just holding random doors, nigga. Come on, man. Let's level it out.
Okay. All right.
Y'all don't want to have a real conversation.
Nah,
what's in the chat, man?
Your sister talking about how you not eating Tuesday?
My iron is definitely low, cold. I ain't gonna tell the people why she cold all the time, but it has something to do with the house she lives in and the people that her roommates.
Carolyn said, "Hey, yo, that was a great example about making plates. It was cool.
Whatever."
This nigga.
Your wife said, "I'm not making anybody else plate outside of y'all," and that's a fact. Okay,
that's true.
I wonder if there's a list of who. When it comes to shit.
So you also got to know your woman. I don't got to worry about shit like that with Janae. Just like you said, holding the door, and how far is she gonna go? I already know Janae. We already locked in. She's not gonna go too far. She's gonna wait for me. She's gonna turn around. All the things.
The thing about it, though. So I love that you know her and you got that. I got you. I get it. I think at the same time, just because your partner is willing doesn't mean that's their preference. And so I'm living in a space of, even though I know she wouldn't have a problem with it, I'm still careful how often I put her in that situation.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying to you?
Yes,
it's like, oh, she good, nigga. After a few years, that she good.
And if you remember when we're talking about the jacket, the first thing I said was I checked with Janae first. Hey, are you cold? Do you need it? Do you need the jacket? And also, is it cool if I give her the jacket? If she say no, then the answer no. She gonna have to freeze.
Babe, that's enough. That's enough chivalry for tonight. I can see Janae telling you that's enough.
And I will be okay with that. 1,000%. Let me turn this button off.
That's good.
Now I'm calling women out their name and slapping them and everything else.
Mike, okay. The next post. Y'all think Mike is sweet because he be on here with the gentleman stuff. That he got a whole nother side. As soon as his wife was like, that's enough.
Right.
That nigga revert
Let
back.
you off the leash. What we got next? Man?
The next post that I put up on Instagram this week was a post that said, how much you supposed to send a girl for lunch? How much you supposed to send a girl for lunch? Mike did not get a chance to see the responses from the women, and I only posted the women's responses. I wouldn't post the men.
Please tell me what they said.
No, what do you think they said, Michael?
I think they start throwing out dollar amounts.
How much do you think they said?
Oh, it wasn't bad enough that they said a dollar amount. They were saying ridiculous numbers.
It was around the same amount, though. That's what was odd to me. These women don't even know each other.
The fact that an amount was thrown out is already crazy to me. Like outside of
Ferguson Mars said $100.
Just random women.
No,
it didn't say girlfriend. It didn't say wife.
How much you supposed to send
a girl, not your girl, a girl.
Let's stick with your girl.
I'm not sending a girl nothing.
Let's stick with a girl you dating. How much you sending a girl you dating for lunch?
However much it costs to get lunch. I don't think $100.
You gonna ask her how much she need?
No, I'm gonna ask her what I think, because it's my money. I'm $25 to get you lunch. You at work, $25. That's cool. I send the same thing to you. I've sent the same thing to y'all and the Pookie and to other friends.
It wasn't enough. I couldn't get fries.
You couldn't get fries. It was for McDonald's anyway, nigga.
So Kanisha said, "Are we talking for the week?" She said, "But I'm gonna say $20-$25." So let me tell you what they said, Mike.
Oh, I don't even know if I want to hear it. Oh God. Okay, go ahead.
So what was said was one girl said $50. $50 is reasonable, or just go pick the food up and DoorDash it to her, or just buy it and DoorDash it to her.
Where are we eating?
Hold on. Another girl behind her came in and said $50 is about accurate because I like snacks with my food. Another girl came in and said $40 would suffice, and I was like, cool, we got $10 off. So 40-50 is around the going rate. Then somebody came in and said $0. I want to buy my own lunch. Always one of those. That's great. But the comment that got me.
Oh,
the comment that got me said,
it gets better.
What's wrong, bro? You don't want to hear the comment that got me?
Just say the shit. Golly.
Hold on. Let's see. I gotta ban some people real quick. Yep, and there we go. So, hold on. What they say? The comment that got me was, they work hard for their money too. Whatever he sends is good.
Oh, she gets it.
I came back on live. I came back on the story and I said, they always say there will be signs. And sometimes you just got to marry them. Sometimes you just
gotta
send me
marry
a sign.
And here it is.
I'm not gonna tell you what your wife said in my DMs though. She didn't. She said, "I'm gonna tell you when we get off the air." Your wife is crazy. Your wife is crazy.
Oh, I know for sure.
She said that they work hard for their money too. Whatever they said, fine.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And that was so unexpected. I thought you were gonna give me like $100 or something like that. That's wild when people understand and when people get it, because here's where I think the $50 comes in at, because I guarantee you, I'd almost put money on it that every woman that made that comment of $50 sounds about right is not spending $50 themselves on their lunch. But because I'm spending the money, all of a sudden you want to add interest on top of what you need for lunch all of a sudden. My nigga, you've been eating Subway $5 subs this whole week. Now all of a sudden you need steak and lobster for lunch. Okay.
So let's devil's advocate our own answer.
Let's do it.
Carrie said a burger, fries, and drink at Jack in the Box is easily $25. I know too well. So if it's a girl that I'm dating, and y'all know that I'm probably premature. I do this stuff way too soon. But if I'm interested in somebody and she could potentially become the one, and we're so far even from that route, I'm already thinking about her health and her body.
I knew you were going there.
I'm not buying her. I'm maybe the upper echelon of fast food, the fillet of the chick.
Okay.
The
end of the out.
The end of the out. The cane that's raising.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you're on the upper end. Yeah. But more than likely it's the California of the chicken, the California seafood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Knowing you would make her lunch. You would have the chicken breasts and the brown rice and all the shit already for her.
True, but we're talking about if you had to send her money, right?
So,
you would send it, you know what I'm saying, to you, but when your wife, Chick-fil-A is still BS. I think that my go-to would be to identify, what I know she likes. You know what I'm saying to you? Because if it's not lunch, if it's, hey, I need an outfit, we're going somewhere, I want to do an outfit, like, the taste and the type of woman that you chose. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's nowhere near your responsibility to buy her lunch, to do any of that. I would say it's not. Until you're married, does it become your responsibility? But if you decide to volunteer and commit to this internship to where you work but you don't get paid, that's on you. That's great. You know what I'm saying? Look good on your resume.
Right.
But that answer at the end of just an acknowledgement that they work hard for their money too, whatever they send is fine. I didn't want to discount nobody else because they could be, she said, whatever they send, I'm grateful for. Exactly. She said grateful. I'm not saying the other women wouldn't be grateful, but they didn't say it.
That's because it wasn't on their mind. They said what was on their mind when the question was asked. And the first thing they thought about is $1 amount.
I mean, the question was $1 amount. How much you supposed to send a girl for lunch?
Right, but we're talking about women that think outside of themselves. And clearly the woman that answered with that last answer clearly thought outside of herself. Put herself in a situation like, I don't know if the woman is single, if she got a man, but she gets it.
She's single.
She gets not for long. Somebody. Listen, where Ray at?
What I think Ray just tapped in. No, that was Reggie. What up, bro?
Big Red. Listen, we got one. We got one on the
hook. Oh man. So Ferguson Mars said, honestly, I came up with 100 because that's what I would send. According for applies to main course, drinks, and a tip. I say 100 because that's what I would send, accounting for appetizer, the meal, a drink, and a tip. 100 is not that much these days.
How long her lunch break?
She probably work where you work.
Y'all
2-hour lunch break. Okay. Listen, that's fine, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for chiming in the chat. I definitely want to start on a light end today as we get into some new stuff because to the topic of tonight's show is hard hearts make hard marriages.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we got some things to get into. Even though the fun is not over, we are going to shift gears just a little bit. And we're going to go in a direction like let's start right. What's this one?
How do you know they're the one?
Let's start with this right here.
Guys, don't make your life harder by choosing a woman that acts like a man. You gotta pick a woman that's feminine in her own character, somebody that shows and radiates love, because those are the type of women that are gonna take care of you and make your life an amazing experience for the rest of your life. You only get one life, so why would you choose the woman who's acting like a man? And like, you just...
Be the man who makes your woman feel safe, protected, compliment her, make her feel beautiful in her own skin, and then she'll always be able to find peace and comfort in you and actually trust your words. So genuinely, like, she loves the most authentic version of you, so if you can give her your essence, your protection, your love, she'll be with you forever.
Just work with the content. I know you. Just work with the words. Just work with the words, man.
All right. So,
what do you think?
Run it back one more time. I think I missed the first part of what he said.
Guys, don't make your life harder by choosing a woman that acts like a man. You gotta pick a woman that's feminine in her own character, somebody that shows and radiates love, because those are the type of women that are gonna take care of you and make your life
All right, you muted.
So he said, find a woman that's feminine and not masculine, a woman that radiates love.
Doesn't act like a man.
So men don't radiate love.
Let's talk about it.
I think I understand what he was trying to say, but I think that when he said, find a woman that doesn't act like a man, find a woman that's feminine, and find a woman that radiates love, I think what he's talking about is more so femininity, softness, the gentleness that comes with a woman, not necessarily love, because men can radiate love all day long. I don't think that that's a masculine or feminine trait.
You mean like when Diddy wanted to be called Brother Love? How'd that work out? Beside the point. We were saying, Mike.
Show. No, this is gonna be my last show. I'm done. Done.
What would you say is the difference between men and women when people are having these kind of conversations about feminine versus masculine? Like, well, they can both embody the both. So is there a difference? Is there one that is more of a strength, more of a preference, more a stronger in this regard? Like, is there a difference?
I would think there is. I would think that femininity tends to be a little bit, like I said, more gentle, softer, around there. I think masculinity tends to be more, because we're told we need to be protectors. So we kind of lead with that sense of, I'm here to protect kind of vibe, you know, which can come off strong, which can come off kind of hard. So no, I don't want to be with a woman that is masculine or acts masculine or has big dick energy, as the new thing is going. You know, it's not attractive to me.
All right. So if we had to identify the difference, if a woman says, yo, am I feminine? Or a man says, you know, am I masculine? They're asking, what are these questions they're being asked? So I look at it from, I guess, a biological standpoint. Women have this monthly cycle. They have a different arrangement of hormones that release that they must engage with that causes them to be a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm.
In most cases, this causes them to be more empathetic.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people believe, the doctors believe, that it's because of the hormones, specifically the I don't want to say the hormone cocktail, but
golly,
the concert of hormones that they experience on the monthly basis that leads them into this more of a in tune place with things from an empathetic place that brings about this softness. It could, you know, of course, I know it can get a little aggressive, you know, with, you know, the cramps and stuff, but again, they're still feeling it, right?
Yeah.
Men, the way we're wired up on our daily cycle, the brevity of how these hormones hit us leads us more to a logical place. And so what I'm thinking is one of the major differences between men and women, we're talking about masculine and feminine, could be maybe in the most practical way, that a woman The feminine wants to sit with you in it.
Yeah.
The masculine wants to get you out of it. And they're both like forms of trying to show love.
I can dig that.
You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So at some point you're like, well, if a woman ever tries to get me out of it, is that not feminine? If a man ever learns how to sit with me in it, is that now feminine?
Yeah. And I don't think it is. I think that like you kind of mentioned that
your girl McGee. Is that what women should have? Go ahead, bro.
No, I think that when you're working on yourself, I think you do tap into to both sides, the masculine and the feminine. But I still think at overall, men should carry that masculinity and women should carry the femininity.
What is the masculinity for you that you carry, that you say, no, this is masculine, my wife doesn't need to be like this?
Anything that causes her to have to over exert herself physically, mentally, emotionally, I don't want her to have to do.
So then what is she left doing then?
Taking care of me.
So you don't want her to ever feel overexerted.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about, oh, I had a hard day at work. I'm talking about, for instance, only thing I can think of is, she's at work and some guy comes in there and she's going back and forth and arguing with some guy and they're going at it, raising voices, and you shouldn't have to do that. I'll handle that. Just tell me about it and let me handle it. You should be able to go through, for my wife, you should be able to go through life and the things that cause you to have to step outside of your softness and cause you to have to step outside of your gentleness. That should be my task to handle.
Got you. All right. Interesting. So what do you do about the women who, and this might be a bigger conversation. Nothing at all.
They're not my concern.
All right. So what should I do about the women? So there are the women who want to stay home and just like you said, stay in the softness of it all. Just make sure things are good, stay balanced, stay regulated. But then there's the women who want to join you on the battlefield because they feel like I'm a warrior princess. I want to be there as well.
That's also Janae.
That's also Janae. So is femininity less? For sure. So is femininity less about how you look on the outside or the location you find yourself in and more about the way in which you want to impact the situation?
I like that. That last one, I think, hits home for me because when we have, just like when we were moving to this house, when you and sister were helping us move and we had that incident and I'm
that's what we're calling it now, an incident. Okay.
Everybody made it home safely. So it was just an incident.
Okay.
So when I was going left, when I saw Janae starting to go left, I then had to, hey, relax, because that I don't want her to have to get out of that. And I know she only means well. She and nobody's gonna do nothing to her husband. Nobody's gonna come at him sideways on her watch. And I understand that, and I understand her character, which is why I try not to put her in those type of situations. And that's a part of protecting. You know what I mean? If I don't put you in the situation, if I know you may go left, I don't even want you near it.
Okay. Let me get into a scenario that might hit a little close to home and tell me if it's too much. So you don't often hear about single dads.
Mm-hmm.
You were a single dad, which means that the mother component wasn't there helping you raise Denim.
Right.
you hear the feminine and the masculine conversation primarily come up when it comes to raising children.
Yes.
You are a man and you are a whole man and you can do all the things, and you had to do all the things for your son because it was just you and him. Was there something that was missing that you just couldn't seem to provide for him because you are man and you are masculine?
That is such a good question, bro. Like that's a great question. And that's actually a question that I'm gonna ask him after this podcast. But if look, from my aspect, I don't know what he would say, but from my aspect, damn, bro, that's a good question, because in my mind, I feel like I play both roles to the best of my ability. Wasn't too hard on them, wasn't too soft on them. Tried to give them the come here, baby. Also tried to give them the knock it off. You know what I mean? So, but I can only do so much as a man. You know what I mean? Everything that I tried to portray as far as feminine that I felt like a mother would portray, it was all an act. It was something that, this is what I think a mom would do in this situation, so let me try this. It wasn't innately in me to do.
So I'm happy you said that, man, because me and one of my friends were having this conversation about women being feminine and whatnot. And for me, I said it's more or less like an energy or a spirit that they carry. It's not so much what they're actually doing, because she can have on a tool belt,
I like
be out
that.
fixing
I like
a
that.
car,
I like
right?
that.
But there's an energy and an essence, right? I don't think that it's, she's too sexy, she's not feminine. She got on a miniskirt, she's not feminine. For me, it's this energy, and I don't think it's something that the natural eye beholds. I think that it's something that your spirit recognizes, and it's almost like when you're in the presence of a man because of the masculinity. There's an energy that he carries that makes you say, I am safe, or I am whatever. And then there's women when they're in their feminine, or not even in their feminine, when they're just operating from the way that God made them.
Right.
When a man is around there's a softness that he taps into. There's a gentleness that he taps into.
Sure.
There's a head that goes to a lap. You know what I'm saying to you? And so I think that when you look at it from that respect, you recognize that it's not something that you can even fake.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying to you? And then you learn to appreciate it more when you feel it, because a man can never be a woman can never be a man when it comes to the kind of energy that they give off because of how they were made. And for me, when I'm looking at or experiencing women who are, you know what I'm saying, I guess have the feminine energy, if we want to keep calling it that, which I feel like is problematic at its core, the term is, I know what it feels like to be in the presence of feminine energy.
Mm-hmm.
And it does something for a man, just like a woman being in the presence of masculine energy. It does something great. It does something beneficial. It lessens a load. It brings about an ease. It seems like there's, like you said, there's a lack of the need to multitask. And I mean, from a place of approaching life.
Yeah, agree.
You know what I'm saying to you? And it's not so much that I give you a list of identifiable things that this is what a woman should do, this is what a man should do. The conversation about masculine and feminine is different than the conversation about gender roles. We're not the same conversation.
Agreed. I agree.
So to close out this conversation, if a man is lacking in the masculinity area or a woman is lacking in the femininity area, how would you advise them to tap back into it?
And this was where I think mentors are really great, bro. Which a lot of people, I guess, don't have. I didn't have one. I don't even know if I have one now. But I feel like growing up, if I did have one and I was struggling with that, I think asking someone that, even if I viewed, man, that's like a man's man. You know what I mean? Tapping in with him, tapping in with homeboys that you feel like have that, whatever it is that you feel like you may be lacking, you know what I mean? And surrounding yourself with that, of course, asking God, that's first and foremost, but other tangible things you can do are, I think that, tapping in with people that have what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because I don't think necessarily it's something that you could
say it, because I'm gonna say it.
You can't fake it. You can't fake the energy. You can't act like. That's why you see, Oh, dang. All right, fuck it.
Oh,
that's oh no, we're here. We're here. So if you see the viewers going down, or you know, they try to cancel this next, it is what it is. So that's why I think that you see men who are gay or transgender, or women who are gay or transgender, when you see a woman that is considered butch, why they go extra hard to try to portray being a man. So now your pants got to sag extra low, and you got to get all the fake. You got to do extras because you're faking. A man that's a man doesn't have to fake. A woman that's a woman doesn't have to fake. So when I see transgender men who are acting as women, it's always over the top because it's not real. You're playing a part. And the same thing goes with me. If I was struggling with my masculinity, I can't pretend that I'm a masculine man, because at some point the truth is going to come out. So it needs to be, whatever it is, my point is, it needs to be genuine. That's why I'm saying talk to a mentor, get some therapy if that's what you feel like is needed.
Okay. I approach that question like this. I don't believe a woman can lose her femininity, nor a man can lose his masculinity, but I do believe it can be buried underneath life. I believe that the lack of femininity you may be experiencing as a woman, or the lack of masculinity you may be experiencing as a man, may be due to some of the things that have happened to you that were traumatic, maybe some of the responsibilities that were put on you because of the absence of other people who should have been assuming those responsibilities. Over time, you've put on not just the personality, but the costume of a role that you shouldn't have had to play. Sometimes that does require therapy. Sometimes it requires coaching. Sometimes it requires you being in an environment where everybody's pulling their own weight.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened mostly in those who are healthy. They just need to be around people who are pulling their own weight, because it's the extra unnecessary or the forced upon responsibility that may require you to I guess step away from yourself in regards to the energy or spirit that you normally or naturally would carry. And I think again, like you said, for a man who's just having a hard time finding his masculinity, or a woman having a hard time finding their femininity, therapy does help. Because I went to this show this weekend called Seven, and it was 7 people who had suffered some kind of traumatic event, and they all got a chance to share their story. And then in the second act, they all had the same therapist, and he called them together, and each one of them stories helped heal another person. It was a really good play. I was actually one of the panelists, mental health panelists on after the play aired. We went on the stage and had a conversation. But I say all that to simply say that they talked about how traumatic situations can trap you at a certain age, and then also traumatic situations also carry a personality. So sometimes people who've been through a similar traumatic situation act the same way because there's a personality associated with it, or at the age and the time in which it happened to them, they can be stuck in the mentality in that specific area of life. They can be a boss and handle responsibility, all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to this part, they're back at 8 years old again, And so I think that if it's something that you recognize, or something that people around you recognize, and you're like, bro, like, yeah, man, like, it's just, where's that? You know what I'm saying to you? It might be worth looking into what has covered that up. And sometimes I hear women say this often about mama's boys. It's too much mama on them. They didn't allow the boy to step into certain responsibilities that would have nurtured and nourished the masculine in him, but it never left him. It's still there.
Yeah.
It can be untouched and untapped, because like for a woman, she's never been in an environment where the men actually held their positions in a way that hers can be watered and nourished properly. You know what I'm saying? So I just say that from the standpoint of anybody listening, like, just, it doesn't matter where you are today. It's in you still. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's just environmental. When you get in the right environment, you recognize how it's still there and it's easy for you to walk in. And so then begin to prioritize those environments for young men as well. Like, don't shy away from the extra responsibility. It actually feels a lot better than you think. It's something like when me and Mike on this podcast talking about, man, it brings joy to my heart to be able to take care of my woman a certain way. Like, it sounds odd until you do it. It fills men with a certain layer of satisfaction and fulfillment that, it's unquestionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I agree.
All right, I'm good with that. So, with that being said, we're talking about, this masculine energy. I want to shift the conversation to boys versus men. All right. So check this out.
Boys match energy, men, we guide it. And most men don't know the difference until they've lost a good woman because they were too busy reacting to her instead of leading to her. Here's what matching energy actually looks like. She comes home frustrated, you get frustrated. She pulls away, you pull away. She gets emotional, you get defensive. You turn the relationship into a mirror instead of a compass. Whatever she brought to the room, you reflected right back at her. And you called that keeping it real. Two people escalating together with no one at the wheel. A man who leads doesn't mean a man who controls. It means a man who stays calibrated when everything around him isn't. She's allowed to have bad days. She's allowed to be emotional. She's allowed to bring the storm into a room sometimes. But your job isn't to match the storm. Your job is to be the thing that doesn't move when the storm hits. Because here's what women don't always say out loud. They're not looking for a man who feels everything that they feel. They're looking for a man who can hold steady and stay consistent when they feel what they feel. That steadiness is what creates safety, and safety creates trust, and trust makes a woman actually want to follow you. Proverbs says that a gentle answer turns away wrath. That's not weakness, that's precision. A man who understood that the most powerful response in a heated moment isn't volume, it's direction. See, the most attractive thing you can do in conflict is stay calm when she can't. Not because you don't care, but because you care enough not to let the moment make the decision for both of you. She doesn't need you to feel everything she feels. She needs you to lead her somewhere better than where she is. Boys match.
I love this video for so many reasons. Let's get into this conversation, bro. We're only halfway through the show, so I'm trying to save space for the big conversation.
Yeah. Nah, that's super good, man. That's super good. I feel like being able to be regulated. Let's step outside of just romantic relationships. Being able to be regulated in any type of hostile or heightened emotions are around you is like a top tier superpower, bro. And I feel like, without going too far left, I think that I've seen that most since you and I have began our brotherhood. I don't think I've ever seen you lose it. Even at gunpoint, even at stuff going on with family, you know what I'm saying? I've never seen you just completely lose your bearings, you know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of that is due to the training that you've had, possibly therapy, and just some overall decisions that you decided to make for your life. But with that said, I don't think that comes easy for everybody. So as bro is talking, I agree with everything he's saying. I think it's great. But I think for some of us, it's like easier said than done. I agree, but easier said than done. So what I'd like for you, because like I said, I see you as the tip of the spear when it comes to that, maybe some how did you get to this place to where you can stay so regulated and so even when everything around you is chaotic?
I want to say two things that jump out to me, man. First, you got to want to be a man. And not just want the title. You got to want the responsibility of a man.
Yeah.
And to want it, you got to know what the responsibility is. And so again, studying that, asking other men, having mentors telling me this is what a man does. And after you hear all that, you got to first want that. The other most important thing is self-awareness. You got to understand where you are as it relates to where you want to be as a man. in every situation, like self-awareness. So for me, when I wake up in the morning and I'm doing my mantra and I'm meditating, I'm doing my breathing, what I am reminding myself of is I am God's son.
Yeah.
I'm a man on this earth that he put a light inside. So there's a responsibility. And at the end of this life, I have to give an account for the things that I do. And so for me, it is very, like you always tell me, it's a humble path of just staying aware. I can't stay regulated if I'm not aware. Staying aware of how I'm feeling. And that was tough for me when I didn't know how to identify what I was feeling.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, and that came. I've been in relationships where we were both off of the handle. I am matching her energy 100%. I'm a man. I can get louder than you, more aggressive than you, 1000%. You know what I'm saying to you? But the more I study, like you said, these workshops I've been to, I recognize what anger and rage does to me. Boy thinks about, oh, I can't wait. This rage is about to kill him. I'm going to get him with this rage, but it has to burn you up first.
It does.
You don't understand how it destroys very essential parts of you before it ever reaches your enemy. Even when I do have enemies and people that I want to get back, it's from a place of strategy. It's more of a place of helping them to walk into the very trap they set for me. There's a wisdom associated with it. You know what I'm saying to you? So that self-awareness, when I'm in the face of a woman and I can see her getting loud and she's starting to get angry and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, okay. I see what's happening right now. I hate being disrespected. So I have a few options I need to make real quick. I either need to leave this situation immediately because I can't handle it, or I need to just recognize that right now I'm probably making this way too personal. Her emotional outburst may not be intended to hurt.
Have nothing to do with you.
It may have to do with it, but it may not be maliciously, because my teachings has shown me that when a woman or a man feels threatened or they feel out of sorts about a situation and they get into fight or flight, then what you're hearing from them is a response that is absent of a lot of the logical thinking. So my teaching has taught me, like, understand, like, you're talking this, and I've used this example on the show plenty of times. You're talking to somebody who's under the influence of their emotions. Like trying to have a logical conversation with a drunk person who's under the influence of alcohol. If you ever find yourself arguing with a drunk person, come on, that's on you. So when you see someone who's heightened emotionally, understand that their body is flooded right now with certain hormones that are causing them to be this way. And it might be good for you to take a moment to give them a chance to cool off. And it might be good for you to not over personalize the moment. And if you can't do either of those, it might be good for you just to walk away.
Yeah.
You said, man, it's not easy, because I've been in some situations where I'm just like, you know?
Yes.
But I try to count up the costs, because I know what it costs to go to war with people, especially over little stuff. It's usually more than you really want to pay.
Man, say that. It's good, man. That's good, man. That's good. And all
right. So when it comes down to it, how do you do it in your marriage, bro? Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, I think for me, what's gotten me to the point where I am now about being able to be regulated is for me, it's had to be more than just aware. I've had to be hyper aware of myself, of, okay, I'm starting to sweat, my temperature is going up. You know what I mean? Like, hyper aware of when I feel like I'm about to go there. I was just telling Janae the other day, what I started to do on the freeway is sit behind people that are going slow and just drive behind them, and allow me to get irritated and then stay behind them and allow until it subsides. You know what I mean?
People listening some context about that. You kind of just jumped into that resolution without really
road rage?
Yes.
Road rage? Oh yeah. I used to have some severe road rage. Get out the car, knock on a window, kick a door. Like, it was bad. You know what I mean? But you know, that I feel like road rage stems from other things in life, which it did. But it all led back to self-regulation And to the point now where it's like I look at it as training a muscle, and that muscle is that self-regulation muscle. And like any other muscle, you have to do things to make it grow. And one thing that I do to make it grow now is I'll sit behind a slow person in traffic. Somebody will cut me off and I'll slow down as opposed to speeding up. You know what I mean? I've literally recently had to catch myself stepping on the gas, and then I have to just ease up off the gas. Like, no, what are you doing? We're not going backwards. You know what I'm saying? And for anybody that is struggling with self-regulation, I feel like it can be like a miracle cure and happen overnight, you know, but for those of us that it didn't happen that way, you got to work that muscle, and you can't just do it thinking that, oh, because I say I want to be self-regulated, that it's just going to magically happen. You got to do things to make it happen.
So let's talk about it from the realm of relationships.
Yeah.
If you are in a relationship with a person who's able to stay calm when you go left,
Mm-hmm.
and I know the video is talking about a man staying regulated. He's not matching that energy, but I just want to open it up.
Yeah, let's.
To women who stay regulated when sometimes the men goes left. What do you think, or how do you think a person should respond to or appreciate if they have a partner that stays regulated when they go left?
If
Should I preface why I'm asking that question? Are you good?
No, go ahead. You can for the people, for sure.
I asked you that question for the sake of you saying it's not easy to stay regulated, and you're with a person who loses regulation often, and after a while, it gets harder and harder, not just to stay regulated, but to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm asking you that question because appreciation may go a long way when you acknowledge what they're doing for you and how it's helping you or how it's helping the relationship. So I just wanted to know, how do you think they should respond or care for if they have a partner that has the ability and the fortitude to stay regulated when chaos is happening in the household or from them specifically?
Yeah, no, I think it's important not just to be grateful, but to outwardly express your gratitude. I was in a situation or marriage, previous marriage with Denham's mom, and granted she has some mental health issues, but it definitely affected her mood, her decision making, her the way she did life, and it could get very, very manic and very volatile. And in that situation, I had to be the person to be calm, because if I wasn't, it was going to go completely left. In that situation, and I'm bringing this up because you said, you know, it could sometimes affect if a person stays or not.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, people can only take so much. You know what I'm saying? When you're constantly, okay, hey, let's just calm down. Let's it's okay. Like, you did XYZ, I forgive you, but let's get back to, you know what I mean? That only goes so far, especially when it's, again, like you said, when it's not being appreciated. To then switch into a relationship now where Janae is like you when it comes to, you know what I mean, regulating emotions. So if something happens with her, like outside of us, I don't see her flying off at the handle and getting upset. And in my mind, sometimes it boggles me, like, damn, like, you're not mad? You see what I'm saying? So I think
that's the misconception. We are.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are mad.
I'm glad you said that.
We are livid.
Yeah.
But we also understand that every gun has to explode within itself before the bullet ever reaches the target.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
There's damage that happens to me every time that I allow myself to fully squeeze that trigger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm also, I can say that in the same breath that some situations may be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But most aren't.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree.
So, some outward words of thank you is what you're saying.
I mean, the outward words is good, but I was more so talking about actions. You know what I mean? And actions can even be, hey, from this person that is about to go left. Hey, I feel like I'm about to go super sideways right now. I don't know if I need you to talk to me. I don't know what, but I want to tell you before. To me, that's gratitude. To me, you're saying, okay, you're trying to do something different. Even if you can't really regulate the way that I want you to, you're trying. And to me, seeing somebody try is gratitude. That's where I come from.
So they say that the best apology is change behavior. And sometimes the behavior is not always to a regulated state. Sometimes it's just making you aware, hey, this is one of them topics. And yeah, like I'm pretty sure Janae knows this as well. I've learned when I'm around people to look at their body language. The body language says a lot before a person starts to express it verbally or physically, like, the tics and everything. And so I struggled with anger in my childhood. So I recognize certain signs. But at the same time, if we get back to this video of talking about a difference between a boy and a man, you have a son who's 14, is on his way up. How do you have the conversation with him? Because he's at a young age where women they just going through puberty, and those hormones, those attitudes, let alone what society is saying to young ladies on a day-to-day basis about be mean to a nigga and he'll like you more. Like, how are you having that conversation with him about, hey, as a young man, we don't match energy, we lead? And like that video was saying, like you let her go through what she's going through, but you find a way, that unique way, specifically to your woman, to lead her into a different place. And that leading doesn't always mean coaching. It doesn't always mean saying something. It could mean being still. It can mean a lot of different things. But my point is, how do you have that conversation with a 14-year-old young man?
So the way that I've raised my son since he was younger is communication, being honest about feelings, being honest about emotions. So I think that when I do have these conversations, because we've already been having them, when I do have these conversations, for instance, he was telling me about a situation. I won't go too much into detail because I don't have his permission. But when we were just talking about a situation, and he was going through something with one of his lady friends, and he was just kind of asking me some questions, and I was
don't make my nephew sound like a pimp. One of his lady friends.
Okay, his girlfriend. His one girlfriend, for sure.
Okay, thank you. This guy here in a fur coat. Jesus, go ahead, man. Talk about my nephew like that.
Oh man, no. So I think the conversations are stemmed around. It's so interesting because I think I said this to him. It has nothing to do with her. It has to do with you doing your own self checks within you. So if she says anything that triggers you, it's not about what she said. It's about how you choose to respond to it. You know what I mean? Are you going to choose to snap back? Are you going to choose to, oh, she hurt me with that, so I'm going to find something, I'm going to hurt her even more? You know what I mean? Or are you going to speak from a place of logic and understanding? You know what I mean? And I know for people thinking like he's only 14, but with him, I can talk to him like this because I've been talking to him like this since he was 3. You know what I mean? So what'd you say?
He said he's been trained. You've trained him at a young age for these conversations.
Right. So I think we talk a lot about emotional maturity, and you know what I'm saying? And maturity sometimes doesn't look like just agreeing for the sake of agreeing because you don't want to argue. Maturity also doesn't look like we got to sit here and talk about the same thing in a circle for the next 10 minutes. So it's more so about, like I said, not to repeat myself, but like I said, wanting him to do his own self-checks real time.
Yeah.
Which is difficult. I just learned how to do it as an adult, but he's doing it, or he's attempting to do it at 14. I think that's really where it starts, is at the young age. So you're not 40 years old, 39 in your 30s, just now realizing that you can self-regulate in real time.
That's good, man. All right. So last question on this topic before we move on to the next one. It's a relationship podcast. So we're dating now, right?
No, we are not. I'm married.
Mike is married. I'm dating now. Well, am I? Dang. For those who are dating now,
there we go.
Okay. For those who are dating now, we're going to have a conversation about what if you're with someone who has a hard time being regulated, but you're physically attracted to them and there's chemistry that you have with them. You want a potential future with them, but their inability to stay regulated for a great amount of your time you have with them is becoming a struggle. Where should your tolerance level be? And at what point do you say, hey, this is now toxic, or I have to remove myself from this situation? Depends on how pretty she is, huh?
Nah, you
depends on how pretty she is. Don't lie to me.
Listen. I did that. I stayed around because of the good looks and the good sex, and I was damaged after I came out of it. So, you know, for me,
the prettier the person, the more you're gonna tolerate their dysregulation. Is that what you're saying?
It happens. It does happen. Yes, it
How do you
happens.
stop yourself from doing that?
I think you have to love your own inner peace more than that person. Because if I'm more concerned about, man, but when she's good, it's great.
Gee whiz.
But when it's bad, it's terrible. So you willing to risk your peace, your happiness over some moments of some glimpses of happiness with a person? I've done it, and I would never do it again. And I wouldn't suggest anybody else to do it unless God has told you that this is the doggone path you need to walk.
The
longest of the sufferings, nigga.
I think at the same time, some of us have to watch out for trying to be the hero to their emotional outburst as well. Because sometimes we are choosing people that we are more, we appear to have a better regulation, but ours is driven by the pride and the ego to always be able to want to say, it's okay, I got you. You can act however you want to act here. You can be toxic here with me, and I'm going to be the first person to love you and all your toxicity, instead of holding them accountable.
And that ain't doing nothing for them or you. Listen, bro, I was
the people who've been abandoned the most are the people who try to save the most. I think I heard that in one podcast. So anyway, go ahead. You what?
Nah, I've been in a relationship where the only reason why I stayed through the toxicity, through the arguments, the fights, the all of that was simply because I wanted to prove to her and myself that I could, quote unquote, tame her. I could tame the crazy. Nobody else could do it. Nobody else could do it. Let me put on my cape because ain't nobody else do this but me. You didn't told me about how everybody else left you because of your attitude, and everybody else, nobody could stay. Your family don't mess with you. You know what? I'm going to be the one. I could do this. And couldn't.
And what if you were able to accomplish that? If you were able to accomplish that, what would that have told you or made you believe about yourself or your past?
It was just an ego stroke. Yeah, I did this. Yeah, this is a creation of mine. It's low key narcissism.
Who needed to know that you could help save this person? You, or did your dad need to know it? Did somebody who turned you down or rejected you need to know it?
Come on, Eric.
Whose worth were you? Who are you trying to prove your worth to in that moment of trying to save somebody else?
I feel like myself, because I feel like the moments that I needed to be saved, or that I felt that I needed to be saved, nobody was there to save me. So now that I have this opportunity to save this person who I can see myself in, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Whether it's I'm losing weight, I'm losing sleep, hair falling out, it don't matter, because I'm not gonna leave because somebody left me when I needed them. So now I'm gonna stay to a fault.
I think this goes back again, like after this play I watched this weekend about even childhood wounds. Sometimes we choose people that we can be the parent for them in the way that our parents weren't for us.
Yeah.
Which is why we kind of sometimes date for potential and we see these issues, but we want to love them anyway through it because we didn't get that love from our parents when we were in similar situations or acted a certain way. And I think that's why it's such a hard conversation to have when you look at globally. How they say that some people need to qualify to be parents. Everybody shouldn't be allowed to have children.
Oof.
When they start to look at how important of a role parents play on society, because you're raising the next set of civilians, you're raising the next set of people who are going to lead and occupy these communities in this world.
Yep.
And the state of the world and the people who occupy it and are making it the way that they make it were all groomed by somebody.
Yep.
All right, let's turn the page just a little bit. We're going to stay on this same lane of dysregulation, emotions, but I really want these conversations to keep going towards just the men. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about hard hearts make hard marriages. And there's so many divorces happening these days. I'm just trying to identify or help people identify when they are the one who has the hard heart, either because of something that happened to them as a child or something. They had a great childhood and something's happening to them in their marriage and they're having a hard time tolerating it or forgiving it or even seeing it through the correct lens.
That's good.
Yeah. So, dang, Carrie said, dang, if there was a qualification for parenthood, how many of us would be here?
That's facts.
That's facts. All right. You want to say anything about that before I put the video up?
That's crazy to think about.
Check this out.
Yep.
Oh, you having a bad attitude? I'm gone. Upstairs, gym, video, watching The Office. I'm not going to be bringing myself down for you. And I remember our therapist, shout out to her, she was like, what do you think it feels like for her every time she's experiencing something, you always disappear? Like, could you sit with her? You don't have to coach her out of it. You don't have to try to make her feel better, but could you sit with her when she's having a bad day? It might be a little tense, air might be a little thick, but this too shall pass. And also recognize when she's trying to come out of it. Even if there's some gritted teeth, she's like, what you want for dinner? Oh, I want wings or meatloaf, or we could go out. Like, I honor that she's trying. That means working more together. Like, there's so many things that you got to do to stay married for a long time.
From an evolutionary perspective, if you're in a small group and you're sad and you're crying, and the group's way to cope with that is like, go off by yourself right now. When are you gonna get eaten by a lion? Other than the times that you're like down, that you're frustrated, like you need people to regulate you. Yeah, so
that's so good. So, and then also I realized I don't have hormonal fluctuations like that. But if I did, I'd want her to like, don't abandon me.
That's that's really good. God, dog. Jeez, that's really good, bro.
These are top tier conversations, bro, because they give real examples. And I think that a lot of us can relate. Like, we don't want, oh, you in a bad mood again? Go ahead. But I have to put this disclaimer out there. That stay energy is not for everybody.
It's not.
That stay energy is when there is a commitment and now this person is a part of your invested responsibility that you chose. This is not you third date with somebody and you're just like, okay, I'm just going to sit with you through it. I think a video we put up 2 weeks ago said that discernment is made for dating and grace is made for marriage.
Yeah.
Of course, you can let them bleed over, but predominantly, when you're dating someone or going on a date, you're looking to discern their behavior, not make excuses for it, not partner with them through it because it may not be the healthiest. But once you marry them, you guys are one and you're giving grace to things and you're partnering with them in a way that you wouldn't do if it was just dating, because the partnership hadn't been solidified. The commitment to do life together is not there.
It's good, bro, when you have a partner that knows what you need, even sometimes when you don't realize what you need. You know what I mean? And I say that coming from me, you know, working on my regulation. You know, Janae may say, hey, she may know I'm in a bad mood, because usually I'm good about saying, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just not feeling it. What do you need? Nothing. I'm good. So she'll leave me alone, which is what I said I needed, but she'll always check in. I never feel left alone. You know what I mean? Because she knows that's what you're saying, but because I pay attention, because you're my partner, because we are locked in, I know you still need me. You know what I mean?
Because we've had sex and we've bonded, if you're inside of me, I feel you.
Yeah.
That I think we don't want to discount what happens when you share intimacy with somebody. You can feel them even when they don't want to be felt.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. But to what Kev was saying, the trying to come out of it, kind of like we mentioned with the trying in the last scenario, just the trying to come out of it, just I crack a joke and you kind of smile, or you know what I mean? Just it's just something about, because this is how I feel, bro. So, like, about needing your partner to help you self-regulate. Sometimes, like for me, sometimes if Janae didn't kind of break the silence, or if Janae didn't crack the joke, or if Janae didn't say something, I may stay in that funk. Not necessarily with her, just in general, whatever I'm dealing with in my head. I may just stay and sit in it, because why else do I need to get out of it? It's something about somebody that you're partnering with wanting to see you be okay, and willing to, like Kev said, sit with you in your not okayness. It's top tier, bro.
I think that's something that we need to highlight more when we are in the dating arena, when we are in, even engaged, not just to see how they respond when you're in that space, but you learning how to give language to what you need when you're in that space. Hey, sometimes it's like, hey, just sit with me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, give me a hug. Can you hold me for a second? You know what I'm saying to you? Sometimes that, again, I think we said it years ago on the podcast, if you want your partner to win, set them up for success. Give them the information about you that they need to know, so that they can win in those moments that matter the most. Hey, you know what I'm saying? When this happens around this time of month or this time of the year, I think about my cousin that passed away. So usually what helps are old pictures. Usually what helps is, you know what I'm saying, fewer conversations like about scattered stuff. Like set them up so they can know. Because if not, I think one of the things that we struggle with is when our partner is going through something, one of the biggest fears that comes up is this their new norm? Is this just how it's going to be now? Like, how permanent is this moment? And I think that without conversation, without check-ins, you don't really have anything to gauge. Like, oh, okay, I kind of have a little bit of understanding what's going on. This may be a few weeks. This may be, you know what I'm saying, 2 days. But not knowing if it's indefinite, you start questioning, can I stay here? And I think that can be resolved by you and your partner having conversations about some of the things that usually bother you. Like, they should know how you feel about your boss. They should know how you feel about traffic. They should know how you feel about that time of the month. They should know how you feel about going into that area or being around your family during this holiday. So that when those things come up, they can know this is just temporary. Let me ride it out with you. And I know how to ride it out with you. Versus like, you've changed. This is not the person I've married. Like, no, but give me 2 days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before you panic and stuff, but it's not all on them to regulate because you're going through something. It's on us to give language to what we may be going through. Yeah.
It is, bro. It is. That's solid, man. That's solid.
Ah, man. This is good conversation tonight, bro. I think it's
It is.
helpful
Yeah.
conversation tonight. We got anything in the chat over there?
Carolyn said your comment that discernment is made for dating, grace is made for marriage. Fire.
Yeah, at some point I want us to have a deep conversation about that because there's a lot to unpack there. Check this out though. Carrie said, "See, but I do want the hug or sit with me." Right? And then Allison said, "No, take your ass upstairs or outside unless I ask for your help, wisdom, or hug. When I'm having a bad day, I want to be alone." Knowing your person.
Communication. It's all communication. Yeah.
Knowing your person, bro.
But again, you can't know your person. You don't assume you know your person.
There you
Get
go.
context. Get context. Get some revelation. And a lot of times, I think we think because we've been together for so long, I know her like the back of my hand. You know, people evolve. People change. For instance, I may have been like Allie. I just want to be left alone. I don't want nobody to talk to me. But 5 years later, I may be like Carrie. I want that hug. Don't just assume.
Dang,
That's why it's so important for check-ins. It's so important to have that intimacy time. And I'm not just talking about physical intimacy time. I'm talking about where you guys just sit down one-on-one and just talk and still explore and still navigate through who your partner is becoming or has become. Because they're not the same person. I hope they're not the same person they were 5-10 years ago.
That's good, man. All right. We still got like 23 minutes. I feel like tonight's show has been hella long. We might get out of here early.
This nigga tired.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. It's a holiday tomorrow.
You coming to the house? We're not doing shit.
No.
Anyway, we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, even though it's a holiday and I'm not at work, other job calls.
Yep.
I kind of want to finish up with 2 videos that should be fun, but let's do this one first because I think it's the most important that goes in alignment with the conversation we're having.
All right.
Well, not really in alignment, but it does. Now that we're talking about dating and the person you're with and how much you have to regulate and help them, why did you choose them in the first place? What made you say, I'm going to choose this person? You know?
Yeah, I do.
Let's get honest for a second.
How do you know they're the one? If I told you that you're so similar to your partner, would you feel offended or would you feel proud? If you feel embarrassed, then you took on a project. You're dating potential, not reality. But if you are proud, it's because you see in them everything you want to be, right? Their kindness, their empathy, their ambition, their drive, their ability to go after what they want. And when you look them in the eyes, you know you wouldn't want to be with anyone else. How do you know they're the one?
We got to hear that first part one more time.
How do you know they're the one? If I told you that you're so similar to your partner, would you feel offended or would you feel proud?
Would you feel offended or would you feel proud? You muted, bro. Would you feel offended or would you feel proud?
God, dog, that's yeesh. Because I know some people that would feel offended. I know some people
because they chose a project.
Yeah, I've done that.
I've dated women that if you told me, "Oh, you guys are so similar," I'm like, "No, we're not."
Don't say that about me. Shit,
I'm still fixing her. Hold on, what you saying?
Damn. Nah, I think that's good though, bro. I that's a good gauge too, honestly. If I'm thinking about running over the course of my relationships, like my serious ones, I think that's a good gauge. Like asking yourself, like, man, because I know now with the person that I'm with now, it's not even a admiration. It's like, how can I
in your worship?
Nigga, like how can I be like you? Like how can I move the way you move? No, right. But it's a real thing. Like I don't know anybody that's like as kind as this person. Like, how did you get this way? You know what I mean? And just being really curious and really in a like, well, yeah, I guess in a state of admiration and in a state of of learning. And I feel like if you can't get that from your I'll say wife, if you can't get that from your wife or you can't get that from your husband, I'm not saying this, cause for divorce, but it's something to think about. If somebody tells Janae, man, you just like Mike, and she's thinking like, oh shit, what has happened to me? That's a problem.
Dang.
That's a problem.
You know what? It's crazy because I thought about a few friends that if you told them, are you just like your mama or your daddy, they would be offended. Don't marry someone that you would be offended if someone said you just like them.
Period. Whether that's because their lifestyle habits is not like yours, whether their spirituality habits is not like yours, whether they whether they talk reckless or got a bad attitude, whatever the case may be, you don't want to be partnered and linked and tied to somebody you can't see being like even saying it out loud sounds crazy.
That's wild because you do. But you do eventually become more like the person that you tied the closest to.
Right.
And even when you think you have a project and you are blending and mixing and creating and molding them, trust and believe that molding is mutual.
Yeah, it's rubbing off on you too.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Oh boy. All right. We still got 18 minutes. Let's see.
Listen, bro, we can stop the show whenever you want to, man.
We might be about to cut this out early. Let's do this one. And then this can be the last one. Oh, you know what? In alignment with that same conversation, let's do this real quick.
Yeah.
Date him like you'll one day be 9 months pregnant, exhausted, and completely dependent on him. Is he still a good choice?
Oh my God.
Date him like you'll one day be 9 months pregnant, exhausted, and completely dependent on him. Is he still a good choice?
And I say for men, date her like one day she'll be the mother of your children.
Wow.
Is she still a good choice? Because
date her one day like she'll be 9 months pregnant, exhausted, and completely dependent on you.
Golly.
Is she still a good choice?
That's so good. Hopefully that helps a lot of women watching right now, because that's so good. Because I'm just thinking, how many women would not have dated me if they asked that question back in the day? Sheesh.
It's crazy when you start to think about the possible consequences of what you're doing when you're dating. Because to consider being 9 months pregnant, exhausted, completely dependent on him may very well be a reality if y'all is smashing cheeks every date.
This nigga can't even keep up with his rent every month. Why are you having sex with this dude? And you think he's ready to have a whole kid, let alone be in a relationship?
Before the kid, before the relationship,
come on,
he got to have your back.
Listen, he trying to flip your income tax. Come on, man. Come on, man.
You think he's late everywhere? He gonna show up on time when it's time to go to the hospital? You gonna be in an Uber?
Duh.
And let me say this to the fellas: if you barely are able to manage and handle and occupy all of what she is, and she's not even pregnant yet,
keep your dick in your pants. Simple as that. Simple as that.
The kind of questions we need to be asking ourselves. I think sometimes we talk about the questions we need to ask on a date to the other person. This is a question you need to ask yourself after the first date.
Yep.
First, second, third date. Start asking yourself these questions.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Don't. Yeah.
Go and don't what?
Nah, we good. It's gonna open up a whole new can.
Listen, we got 15 minutes. That was only 3 minutes. I feel like that was at least half an hour conversation. All right, this is the last video for the night. Then we getting out of here.
Like I said, that
one of the most attractive things a person can have is knowing how to have fun. Not your job, not your aesthetic, not even how mysterious you are. I mean, those things, they can have somewhat effect on your image, but just yourself knowing how to have fun. I think that's such an amazing trait anybody can have. Because knowing how to be playful, that's not being childish. Those people who can turn an ordinary Tuesday night into something like so much fun, I don't think that's childish at all. That's elite emotional intelligence, I would say. Life is already serious enough. I think sometimes we all get lost in the process and forget the purpose. But the purpose of life, it's not to work until you die, not to reach the top of the pyramid. And no, I think the purpose of life is enjoy the small moments and just have fun. But we get so lost in the process that we forget the purpose. The purpose is to have fun. I hope we don't forget that.
Listen, what color paint was that on her back wall? Was that like an olive? That paint on that back wall, brother.
Forest green.
That may be an accent wall in the man cave.
It's rich, huh?
God, dog. And I think she may have had a gold, like trim molding at the top.
And the ceiling was too. It might have been textured.
With the little brown leather chair she was sitting in? Yeah. Yep.
Did you hear anything?
Huh? What you said?
Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of every episode, we like to leave you guys with a resource. Maybe something was said tonight that got you thinking about how can I get some help on how to learn and how to regulate, or help regulate my partner, or just get a better picker. Maybe you're struggling with the consequences of having chosen a project in the past, and you're struggling with being able to move forward and not carry the baggage with you. Maybe you have some childhood trauma, whatever it is. You can call this number, get connected to a therapist, a support group, even just some reading materials if that's your flow, to help you on your journey to alignment, your journey to healing. Don't go at it alone. We got you on Sundays, but that's it. Throughout the week, man, 988 is your go-to. Many people from the show have called this resource. They are legitimate, and they do a really good job. The person who picks up the phone is a trained counselor, and if you want to just vent, you can call this number. Never feel like you got to deal with depression and hard thoughts by yourself. This is definitely a good resource for you to tap into. And another good resource to tap into is our Cash App. Listen, we pay $88 a month to stay on the air. We are crowdfunded, so we thank you to all those who've pitched in $5, $10, $15 to help us stay on the air. Please go to our Cash App and drop a few dollars so we can continue to do this. We know that it's helping you because you guys are telling us, and we also know that it's helping us. So yeah, tap in to the Cash App, drop some ducats. Mike, you praying us out tonight?
Carolyn said y'all are coming with some good stuff and got me over here rethinking life. It's dope. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Also, how important, see how I'm starting the show back up? How important is fun? Some people think that fun. This nigga Donovan is cooked. Cooked. He is wrecked to go.
You could tell Mike you could tell this nigga's a PK. Nigga, I gave him a clear closing.
Yeah.
This nigga came back up, opened his Bible, and said, listen, in 2 Corinthians, I got a word from the Lord real quick.
Nah, that's good. We're gonna have to pick up that fun conversation on the next one. Go ahead and pray this out, bro.
No, we are though, because
See, it's a good
you'll mess
topic.
around and think that that's the most important, and then you get looked at as childish because, like, hey, this is a serious moment. Stop it.
But for damn.
No, thank you, Father God, for this night.
For the people though that are like super like purpose driven, and this is my purpose, and I have to walk out life in purpose, and my partner, they have to have a purpose, and our purpose have to align, and we don't have time to just sit around and joke. We have to always be, doing this and planning out life and creating a business plan and creating a strategy. And like for that type of person who doesn't hold fun in any real regard, do you think they can still have a successful relationship?
Yeah, find somebody like you.
Boom. Praise out, bro.
Father God, we thank you so much for tonight's episode. It was so rich and full of so many great conversations. And that because you orchestrated this. So we thank you for all those who received something. May we all sit with it and take it to heart so that it can actually start to impact us on a level of behavior. So that our lives can be enriched by this insight that we're getting. We thank you for those who tuned in, those who may be hurting, Father God. We just pray for peace over their minds, their hearts. If they're struggling mentally, with weighted thoughts or emotionally dealing with grief of any sort or any aches and pains in the body, Father God, we're just praying, Lord, for a touch from you, a word from you, an encounter with you.
Yeah.
Because we know that can change so much. If we're tripping and we're the cause of our tripping, Father God, help us to have a come to Jesus moment with you and look in the mirror and see how we are causing our own hurt. And if we are making excuses for people who are causing us harm, trying to say that this is love and it's not, Father God, show us the error of our ways and how to move into a place where we really have been called to be, who we've been called to be with, Father God, and help us to continue to know the difference. We thank you for all these things. In Jesus' name we do say and we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
We appreciate y'all. Enjoy and have a very happy holiday. God said the same. We see y'all next Sunday.
But listen, about this fun thing. So what I
Can we talk for a minute?
so look.
Can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me, baby. I wanna know your name. Can we talk? Come on and talk to me, baby. Come on,
Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you, girl. I really wanna know your name.
Maybe this will help.